you guys doing in reference to history in America and international foods and particulars of history and European history and Italian restaurants, Asian restaurants, European, Mexican restaurants, and other friendly acknowledgments, French restaurants, English and British or Irish restaurants. How you guys doing? And other international friendly acknowledgments. I don't eat German food or Middle Eastern food, so that's not the category of things of choice. I don't eat Middle Eastern food, and I don't eat German food for a lot of reasons. And the satellite men that have been damaging my teeth, I don't eat the kind of food they have either, whatever race they are. But anyways, in reference to the food and beverage industry, in reference to old restaurants and historic restaurants of my grandfathers and great grandfathers in America and family history of things, it's very important that people document, the historic restaurants that my parents owned, and my grandparents owned, and my my great grandparents owned in America. That satellite man just messed with my mouth again. I'm telling you, you better quit, man. You're violating my personal space, and there ain't no way for you to ever get out of it. You better let my teeth heal, or you're if you don't let my teeth and face heal and my body heal from what you've done, man, it's going to be the electric chair for you, man. The role protocols and protection document. See, a lot of people don't understand what the role protocol in the media is. First of all, it's bloodline history of 100% royalty of my family, of who I am. Plus, my father owned media companies, the largest media companies in America, too. So that's why it's in the role protocol. So nobody could ever get away with stealing the companies or the media companies. And, in reference to logic of what makes it into the media, what's common, what's associated with seriousness, what's appropriate. And that's what, makes it into the media in reference to the news. I don't control the news. And, there's subjects of, severity, what makes it into the news networks or what makes it on television. People produce TV shows, people produce music, people produce, movies and documentaries. So those are important too, But, those are usually private productions or productions of the studios. And it just depends on what things are in reference to certain criteria of media, because nobody wants some dirty politician making some fraudulent documentary and then claiming they were some person that was following the laws in America when they're violating the laws of America. So in reference to documentaries, they're very important, and the FCC knows this is very important, and so does the international media and press in reference to international newspapers, international media. Very important in reference to keeping the record right and the facts of, history in America. And, making sure that people don't misrepresent the history of America and other international acknowledgments of things, because some people, they try to control the media and, there's all kinds of stories about people one way or the other, but in reference to political conspiracies of people manipulating the media, people trying to steal the media, companies is very serious. But, in reference to historics and, stage and film and, my grandparents and great grandparents owned, you know, performing stages even back in the early days. Back my great grandfathers did too, and my great grandfathers owned some auditoriums in Europe and Italy too, in reference to operas and music and uh, you know instruments and orchestras back in the day. So people need to look up that information too. And in reference to history of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, Tchaikovsky. It's hard to say that because they damaged my front teeth, and other particulars, and like the three tenors and other musical artists, and back in the day too. In reference to history of European music or American music or varieties of music, and hello Cuba, and Hello, Pancho Sanchez and, you know, the Lava Elite Jazz Club, and hello, Ricky Ricardo and Lucy, and, you know, just in reference to varieties of friendly acknowledgments of media and history and other wonderful artists and history too, you know, and country music, rock and roll, R&B, hip hop, and, you know, classical music and other things, you know, and international types of music, friendly acknowledgments. Latin music, Brazilian music, Canadian music, Mexican music, Italian music, French, English, and, you know, Irish music or whichever, you know, lots of things in pop music and uh, new age music, and hello Yanni and Kenny G and John Tesh and Steve A. How you doing? And other people, friendly acknowledgments, and Eddie Van Halen and rock and roll, and, you know, a lot of music history of, and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and, you know, wonderful acknowledgments of history of people, you know, lots of things of importance. And so in reference to the history of my family history, in reference to auditoriums and music and piano and guitar and you know, cellos, violins, trumpets, tubas, or anything, you know, in reference to history of, and cello is very interesting. And hello, in reference to cello players and orchestras, you know, lots of things of importance. But, you know, in reference to a situation of, you know, the Royal Protocol in the media, it's a documentation of my identity. And, you know, in reference to when I was little, I had been injured and I was in a coma because of these people trying to steal my mother and father's land and companies in America. And these was people that was Nazis, people that was criminals, people that had no legal right doing what they were doing. These people have tried to come into America and tried to criticize landowners of America. And these people was from Germany or the Middle East. And, you know, those people need to go into court. You want to talk about land ownership, and then they'll say something stupid like, oh, well, older people or people that came from families in America had bought up a lot of the land in America before these other people entered into America. Yeah, a lot of the land in America was owned before the Nazis tried to come into America. And that's documented too. So in reference to the Nazis criticizing land ownership, or the Middle East trying to criticize American land ownership, those people need to go to court. You know, what people was here, what people have been here first, when people buying land back in the day, you don't have a right murdering off or torturing landowners in this country to see if you can get away with stealing their land. You have no legal right. People don't go to your country that your family came from and try to steal their land. Not anybody of my family heritage. Not never. So in reference to you and your people trying to murder American landowners, your government people need to go to court. Your people trying to steal American-owned companies or internationally types of companies of which my family and my mother and father and grandparents and great-grandparents owned. Who the hell are you? My mother and father and grandparents and great-grandparents made products, met the demand. So who are you? You have no legal right criticizing anything. But you need to go to court for your conspiracy of trying to steal land in America, and your medical crimes of torturing people with satellites because you were trying to steal neighborhoods, or you were trying to steal land, or you were trying to steal mansions, or you were trying to steal stores and companies and locations or products or farmland or international distribution of, international distribution of products and the importing and exporting of products and goods. Your government agents need to go into court. You don't have a right torturing or damaging people's lives because you came into this country later than other people. You have no legal right. and you won't ever have no legal right. So you need to go to court for your fraud and your crimes of trying to steal American companies and American land. Nothing's ever for sale in reference to my mother and father's companies or grandparents' companies or even great-grandparents' companies. I'm the owner forever. And your government agents need to go to court for your crimes in America and the abuses of what you have tried to steal from me. You people have even tried to steal my family names, which the Treasury has those on record too, and the Deeds Department does too. And in reference to your people stealing gifts or monies that I was supposed to have received in the postal mail, government man, you don't own the Postal Service in America. And your government agents need to go into court, man.